Hello everyone. IELTS is making some big changes. Starting February 22nd, 2025, the paper-based exam will no longer allow pencils. Instead, test takers will have to use a black ballpoint pen for all answers. This is just 8 days away, so a lot of people have been asking how it will affect their scores, especially those taking the test on paper. Let's first take a look at this change from the test taker's perspective. Imagine you're writing an essay on paper and at some point you decide you want to change something. If it's just a word, no big deal. You can easily cross it out and write the new word above it, a quick fix. But what if you need to change an entire sentence or even a whole paragraph? Maybe during proofreading you realize you missed an important point or need to replace something with a better idea. Well, if you have used a pen, you are kind of stuck. I'll use myself as an example. I've written a book and I'm working on another one. I can't imagine writing something like an essay without being able to change things as I go, especially if I need to tweak or improve parts of it while it's still taking shape. When you're writing, especially under exam conditions, not every sentence feels perfect, and you often want to adjust things, swap words around, delete irrelevant bits, or rephrase. Most people would write a rough draft of their 250, 300 word response and then refine it to make it more polished. But with a pen, you lose the flexibility to make those changes. Unlike with a pencil where you can erase and tweak, a pen locks you in. So every time your thoughts or phrasing shift, you are restricted. This is probably why I and many others prefer typing to writing by hand. With pencil, you still have room to make adjustments, but with a pen, you are stuck with what you have written, and that makes it harder to adjust or improve. So that's how it's going to impact a test taker if he or she still chooses IELTS on paper. Now, let's take a moment to think why this change was needed in the first place. Well, all of IELTS's competitors like TOEFL, PTE, Duolingo, and 𝗕𝗟𝗃 for Canada use the computer format. TOEFL kept its paper version until January 20th, 2024, and now it's all digital. These exams, conducted entirely on computers, have eliminated the need for paper exam centers, extra staff, and all the costs associated with keeping paper exams going. So, IELTS is now joining that trend to streamline the whole process. This also helps them cut down on expenses for paper exam centers, extra invigilators, collecting test papers, and sending them to marking centers. It's a pretty complex and somewhat vulnerable process when it comes to maintaining security and integrity of the testing system. I'm not trying to be biased, but I honestly think going digital is the way forward. It's more secure and I believe it keeps things fairer for everyone. Plus, from an examiner's point of view, grading handwritten test papers can be a real headache. As someone who checks a lot of handwritten tasks daily, I can tell you it's no easy task. Sometimes the handwritten tasks or handwriting looks like a mess of insects crawling across the page and it takes a lot of effort to make sense of it. So this new rule will definitely make things easier for examiners too. Now let's take a guess at what's going on, or rather what's going through the minds of the IELTS owners. The shift to pen might be part of a bigger plan to gradually move everyone toward the computer-based exam. They might be phasing out the paper version and nudging test takers toward the digital format. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if in the near future IELTS goes completely computer-based. It might take a year or so, but I think that day is coming sooner than we expect. That said, don't worry too much about it. Just think of it as adapting to a change. The content of the exam is still the same, it's just the delivery method that's changing. And eventually it will likely be more convenient for everyone involved. So that's a wrap on this topic. What are your thoughts on the new changes? Feel free to share in the comments. This is 𝗓𝐭-𝐬𝐭-𝐬𝐿, your friendly mentor, signing off.